So I had a customer call me earlier today with an issue that I see once in a while. But basically, long-time customer, known them for a long time. They got a couple of laptops, just a residential client, not a business client, so nothing complicated as far as equipment goes. But anyway, one of their laptops that they have is still a Windows 7, older machine at this point, probably 8, 9 years old, probably pushing 10 years old, and a little slower and all that, but for this particular person, what they do with it, it still does what they need, and they're one of those conservative people. If it does the job, they're not going to replace it, and that's totally fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It does what they need it to do. But anyway, he told me, he said, yeah, it was working great earlier this morning, and then all of a sudden the internet just doesn't work on it. The wireless is just doesn't respond. But they said, well, we know the internet works over here because our other laptop was working just fine. So, they provided pretty good information over the phone. And so I said, well, I'm going to say, maybe it's a wireless adapter issue. Sometimes over the years they can just randomly fail. Or I thought maybe an update possibly. But usually an update, that's Windows 10 stuff. Windows 7, driver updates usually don't ruin things in 7. Like they tend to botch things up in 10. So I'm just thinking, due to age, it's probably just a wireless adapter thing. So I'm thinking, we'll just come over. I'll put a simple TP-Link USB one in. Cost to us is, 10, 15 bucks, whatever it is. I usually just charge around like 30 to 40 bucks for the part. And then I charge like depending on how far I'm going, either half hour or sometimes a 1 hour trip charge or whatever. Do a few other little things. Everybody's happy. So I get there, look at it, play around with a few settings, and I'm like, it's probably just shot. And so I just put my TP-Link adapter in, put the disk in, install. As I'm installing it, I'm just kind of sitting there, twiddling my thumbs for a little bit. All of a sudden, I look down in the right-hand corner of the laptop, right here where my mouse is at. Those two little buttons up there. Didn't really pay any attention to it at all. I looked at that and I noticed one of the lights at the top was yellow, or that amber orange looking color. And so I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I looked a little closer, and here it's a wireless button. So I'm like, oh geez, I said maybe that's all it is. So I literally pushed the button. About 10 seconds later, wireless kicks back on the computer, connects automatically to the wireless network. Done deal. So I'm over there sitting at their table kind of by myself. We're just chatting as we're waiting on this thing, and I just start laughing, and he's like, well, what's wrong? He's like, he's thinking the whole computer's ruined or something. I said, no. I said, it's fixed already. You don't even need my part here. I said, hell, it's really, really technical. I said, this is really tough stuff. I said, you want to know how I fixed it? And he kind of gives me one of those looks. Well, not really. He's like, I won't understand what in the world you're talking about anyway. So I grabbed the laptop, walk over there, and I said, well, here, let me show you anyway how technical it is. And I showed him that button. I said, you see this button here? He goes, yeah. I said, here, I pushed that. I said, see, your wireless now won't work. He looks, he goes, yeah. And I push it again. I said, see that? It's not working. So he kind of looks up at me. He goes, well, how in the hell? He goes, hell, I've had this thing 10 years. I didn't even know it was there. And I said, well, I'm guessing you probably just picked it up earlier, moved it, didn't realize you pushed the button. And he goes, well, come to think of it, he goes, the screen was a little dusty. He goes, I kind of dusted around it earlier. And I said, bingo, there you go. You must have hit it when you're dusting. So, tip of the day, if your laptop has one of those buttons, in this case it was right on the top as I'm showing in this picture here, right up top. That's where this particular one is. Some laptops don't have them at all. Sometimes they're on the side down here. I've seen them like right in this area, or even up close here. I've seen them on the other side. I've seen them down here kind of in the front on this area. You never know where in the hell they're going to stick those buttons at, if they even have them. So it's something so stupidly simple, but if you're a tech person, or if your wireless just one day just randomly quits working for no apparent reason, look at that. Or like I said, if you're a tech person with customers and clients and somebody calls you about that, you might want to ask them to search around for one of those buttons. I've had that situation before, but I guess generally over the phone conversations, I don't ever think about those buttons. They never come to mind to me on that occasion. But it all worked out. They had a few other little questions and things for me, so I ended up fixing that while I was over there anyway. But that could have all been done through TeamViewer or something remotely. So just friendly tip of the day. That was it. That's all I wanted to say on this one, and we got more coming. So if you got any more questions on that, feel free to let me know. Thank you.